Hello, Morongo Basin, and listeners around the world online at Z107.7FM.com. Here is the Z107.7 Local News for Tuesday, April 7th, 2026. A man on felony probation and with an active warrant for battery on a police officer was arrested at a 29 Palms grocery store on March 31st at around 6 p.m. San Bernardino County Sheriff's deputies responded to a report of trespassing at the Stater Brothers in 29 Palms. Deputies say that the suspect, Richard Sanchez, 27, was yelling and causing a disturbance at the business. He was asked to leave, and when deputies contacted him, they say he resisted arrest and physically impeded deputies from putting him into their vehicle. When he was in custody, deputies determined that Sanchez was on probation for a violent felony and that he had an active warrant in Los Angeles County for charges related to attacking a police officer. Richard Sanchez was arrested on suspicion of petty theft, resisting arrest, violating terms of his probation, and his active warrant. He is being held at the West Valley Detention Center without bail. The High Desert Water District's Drought Resiliency and Recycling Program has received $750,000 in federal funding, secured with assistance from Congressman Jay Obernolte. The funding will support efforts to improve water efficiency by expanding the use of recycled water for irrigation and groundwater recharge. Once completed, the project will help reduce reliance on potable water supplies, strengthen long-term water reliability, and support sustainable water management in high desert communities. There are new Medi-Cal and CalFresh eligibility criteria. These updates include new work requirements for some adults, changes to eligibility for certain groups of non-citizens, more frequent renewals, and new documentation and reporting requirements. Online news editor Robert Hayden has more.
If you receive CalFresh benefits, those eligibility requirements may have changed as of April 1st, as a press release from the state program says that, quote, lawfully present non-citizens will no longer qualify for CalFresh benefits. There are also expanded work rules for able-bodied adults without dependents effective June 1st. Adults aged 18 to 64 who do not have a child under the age of 14 in their household may receive only 3 months of benefits in a 36-month period, unless they complete at least 20 hours a week of qualifying work, education, job training, or community service. Children under the age of 18 and seniors age 65 and older, people with documented disabilities, and any adult living in a household with a child under 14 are exempt from these CalFresh work requirements. Medi-Cal is changing as well. Medi-Cal has reinstated asset limits for seniors age 65 and up and people with disabilities. Countable assets such as your savings, second homes, etc. are limited to $130,000 for one person and $195,000 for a couple. Assets will be reviewed under the first scheduled annual review in 2026. And effective in October of this year, some non-citizens will no longer qualify for federal coverage. In January of 2027, there'll be some work requirements for able-bodied childless adults from ages 19 to 64, and certain adults must renew every 6 months rather than annually. Most children, seniors, people with disabilities, and parents of young children are exempt from the Medi-Cal eligibility updates. The state of California urges those who receive these benefits to review the new criteria and update documentation online at www.benefitscal.com. We'll have links for that, along with more information on the eligibility requirements at Z107.7FM.com. Reporting for Z107.7 News, I'm Robert Hayden.
The Creative Cafe returns this week with a focus on cutouts. The Creative Cafe is a weekly drop-in art session hosted by local artist Jillian Sandell. She describes cutouts as a very simple way to create a design or composition by cutting out shapes from a small piece of paper. The Creative Cafe is open to all ages and skill levels, and donations are accepted. Wednesday's session runs from noon to 2 p.m. at the Food for Thought Cafe at the Joshua Tree Retreat Center. The Yucca Valley Sunset Rotary Club is hosting its 22nd annual Dessert Soiree fundraising party and auction this Saturday. The event promises an evening of fun, philanthropy, and entertainment. Guests will enjoy the locally famous $1,000 Deal or No Deal game, along with live and silent auctions, amazing appetizers, an array of delicious desserts, and more, all while supporting an essential local nonprofit organization. The 2026 Dessert Soiree's primary beneficiary is Animal Action League, a nonprofit that provides critical spay and neuter service for dogs and cats in the Morongo Basin and Coachella Valley. In 2025 alone, the Animal Action League completed a record 5,535 spay and neuter surgeries. The 22nd annual Dessert Soiree is happening this Saturday at 6 p.m. at the Yucca Valley Community Center. You can purchase tickets at sunsetrotary.org or by speaking with a Rotarian. In its 8th incarnation, the Desert Fringe Festival will be back and better than ever the weekend of April 17th. Arts and entertainment reporter Charlie Thomas shares the details of how to be part of the fun.
In its 8th year of showcasing original, non-traditional, provocative performance art, the Desert Fringe Theater and Cultural Arts Festival will take place the weekend of April 17th through 19th. The event, designed to establish a forum for promoting cultural awareness and community involvement through the progressive arts movement, will offer 3 days of performances, improv, music, and workshops presented by an array of artists from the desert and beyond. The festival, which is sponsored in part this year by a grant from the Tourism Bureau at 29 Palms, will take place in and around various locations throughout 29 Palms, including the Glass Outhouse Art Gallery, Theater 29, Farmers Market, and Acme 5 Lifestyle. The Fringe invites audiences to experience cutting-edge theater, performance art, music, dance, and more while allowing performers the opportunity to create and perform original work. The High Desert, with the Joshua Tree National Park as a backdrop, and its bohemian artistic community of visual artists, musicians, and performers, is an exciting and dynamic place to experience the arts. This year's festival boasts returning performers Lauren Walpert, T. Hamidi, and Lisa Mendick Powell. Joining the Fringe community this year is musician El Indigo from Palm Springs and several performers from Los Angeles, San Diego, and Arizona and beyond, including Hera Anderson of HBO fame, spoken artist R. Zoe Black, who has performed in both London and Germany, and Bay Area poet Haila Atame. A new feature this year will be a drive-in theater experience on both Saturday and Sunday evenings featuring episodes of Mrs. Gray. For more details and a full schedule of events and locations, visit highdesertfringe.org. Reporting for Z107.7, this is arts and entertainment reporter Charlie Thomas.
And finally, the town of Yucca Valley has opened registration for their lifeguard certification course. The course will provide entry-level lifeguard participants with the knowledge and skills to prevent, recognize, and respond to aquatic emergencies and to provide care for health emergencies, injuries, and sudden illnesses until emergency medical services personnel take over. Participants must be at least 15 years old before the last scheduled class session. The course fee of $220 includes American Red Cross registration fees, a lifeguarding manual, CPR mask, whistle pack, and instruction. Classes begin on April 24th. You can register with Clayton Rardin at the Town of Yucca Valley Community Services Department at 760-369-7211, extension 240. That's our local news. Hear local news 7 times a day, 7 days a week at 7, 8, 9, noon, 4, 5, and 6. If you hear about news happening, let us know. Email us at tips@z1077fm.com. Reporting for the Morongo Basin News Leader, the award-winning Z107.7 Local News, I'm News Director Jeff Harmetz.